Okay, so you know that feeling, right? When you're uh, trying to lose a few pounds, maybe get a bit more energy.
Yeah, and it just feels like you're stuck.
Totally. Like your body's just, I don't know, holding on to that extra bit no matter what you do.
hmm Or you hit that afternoon wall and you just wish you had a natural lift, not like jitters from caffeine.
Exactly. Well, you're going to want to stick around because today we are doing a deep dive into something called leptozan. It's been getting some attention.
It really has. We've spent some time really digging through the information that's available on it,
Yeah.
what it says it does, what's actually in it.
And what people are saying too, right? The experiences.
Exactly, the reviews, the testimonials. So our goal today really is to just explore what this product, Leptozan, claims to offer based on all the material we've gathered.
All right, so jumping right in, leptozan is presented as essentially a natural supplement for weight loss.
Yeah, they say it's designed to kickstart your body's fat burning processes.
And they use some pretty strong language, like helping you achieve your dream body. That's a big claim.
It is a big claim, and the core of it, according to the info, seems to be this blend of Dead Sea minerals and something called BHB, Beta Hydroxybutyrate.
Okay, Dead Sea mineral. I mean, people know about Dead Sea salt baths and stuff, right? Rich in minerals.
Right. Things like magnesium, potassium.
Right.
They're definitely important for the body. The material suggests these minerals, specifically from the Dead Sea, play a role here in the weight loss aspect.
Interesting. And what about the BHB?
So BHB is linked to ketosis, like the keto diet. It's an energy source your body can use instead of glucose. The idea here is that the BHB in the supplement helps boost metabolism, supports fat loss, ups your energy.
And they also mention reducing cravings
Yes.
and inflammation.
Yes, those are part of the claims too. It's positioned as more than just shedding pounds, sort of an overall wellness support.
Especially calling out stubborn belly fat. That's definitely a pain point for a lot of people.
For sure. And the how behind it all, according to the information, really centers on boosting that metabolism.
Getting the engine running hotter, basically, burning more calories.
That's the idea. And accelerating fat burning, particularly, they say, in areas like the belly and hips.
Okay, so we mentioned BHB. The material actually breaks it down further, doesn't it? Like different types.
It does. It mentions calcium BHB, sodium BHB, and magnesium BHB.
Huh. Why? 3 different kinds. Is that like standard?
Well, the thinking presented is that these different mineral-bound forms might be absorbed or utilized slightly differently by the body.
Okay.
For example, they link calcium BHB specifically to helping the body eliminate fat more efficiently.
Right.
Sodium BHB is tied more to boosting energy levels, which, could lead to burning more calories if you're more active.
Makes sense.
And then magnesium BHB is said to help convert food into clean energy, supporting overall metabolic health. So it's kind of presented as a multi-pronged approach just within the BHB component itself.
Like a little BHB team working together. Okay, I get that. So when we look at the list of benefits they claim, it tracks with this, right? Faster weight loss, boosted metabolism.
Exactly. Reduced cravings, more energy. Those are the big ones they hammer home.
But there was more too, wasn't there? Something about inflammation and brain health.
Yes, they do mention reducing inflammation in the body and also supporting brain health, specifically by fighting something called oxidative stress.
Oxidative stress. That's like cellular wear and tear, sort of.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
An imbalance that antioxidants help fight. So they're suggesting ingredients in Leptozan might offer some antioxidant support. It paints a picture of, benefits beyond just the number on the scale.
And they really emphasize the natural angle.
Yeah.
And the manufacturing made in the USA.
Mm-hmm. Proudly made in the USA, they say. And importantly, crafted in an FDA-approved facility.
Okay, that's usually a good sign. Means they're following certain standards.
Right, and they also mentioned GMP certification, good manufacturing practices, which is another quality control standard.
Good to know. And it's non-GMO, gluten-free. Checks a lot of boxes for people with sensitivities.
Seems like it.
Okay, but the real proof is in the pudding, right?
Right.
What are people actually saying? The material includes some customer reviews. Let's touch on those.
Okay, so there's one from a Sarah. She apparently noticed a significant difference within weeks. Lost itches around her waist, felt more energized, less hungry. And importantly, she said this was without a really strict diet.
Wow. Okay. That sounds pretty good.
Then there's a David. He mentioned losing 10 pounds in about a month, again, without doing extreme exercise. He felt his metabolism improved, had better focus, more energy, and fewer cravings for junk.
Another positive story.
And one more, Emily. She talked about belly fat reducing and her energy levels soaring, also without drastic lifestyle changes.
Yeah.
Said she recommended it to friends.
So some compelling anecdotes there. Of course, you always have to take individual testimonials with a grain of salt, right? These are likely selected highlights.
Absolutely. It's important context. But they do provide a snapshot of the claimed positive experiences from the source material.
Definitely. Now, what about the practical side? Buying it, using it? They mention a guarantee, right?
A pretty significant one, actually. A 180-day satisfaction guarantee.
6 months. Wow.
Yeah, of a full refund if you're not happy with the results within that time. That does lower the risk quite a bit for someone wanting to try it.
For sure. And how do you take it?
Simple enough. Just one capsule daily with water. They recommend taking it in the morning, and stress being consistent, taking it every day.
Consistency is usually key with this stuff. Did they say anything about diet and exercise?
They do. They encourage pairing it with a healthy diet and some light exercise for the best results, which is, generally good advice anyway.
Right. It's not positioned as a magic pill you take while eating junk food. That's more realistic.
Exactly. And they add a crucial disclaimer. Consult your doctor before starting, especially if you have any pre-existing health conditions. Always smart.
Always. Okay, so if we were to sort of boil this down, based purely on the information provided,
Hmm.
what are the main pros and cons that stand out?
Well, on the pro side, based on the claims,
Mm-hmm.
the natural ingredients, those dead sea minerals and BHB, the focus on fat burning, especially stubborn areas,
Mm-hmm.
boosting metabolism, reducing cravings,
And that big 180-day money-back guarantee is definitely a pro.
for sure. On the potential cons side, or things to consider,
Mm-hmm.
it requires consistent daily use. Results likely take time. It's not an overnight thing.
Right.
And as with anything, individual results will vary. What works great for Sarah or David might not work the same way for you.
Fair points. So who is this really aimed at? Who might find this interesting based on the problems it claims to solve?
The material seems to target quite a few common struggles. People dealing with stubborn fat they can't shift. Anyone feeling their metabolism is sluggish.
People battling constant food cravings?
Yep. Or just needing more sustained energy through the day. Also, those interested in natural ways to potentially reduce inflammation or even support brain health.
And maybe people who've hit a weight loss plateau.
Exactly. Or just feel fatigued and unmotivated because of their weight or energy levels. They list out these common problems.
Like stubborn fat, slow metabolism, cravings, low energy, inflammation.
Right. And then they position Leptozan as the solution for each one, eliminating fat, boosting metabolism, curbing cravings, providing energy, fighting inflammation, supporting weight maintenance, improving mental clarity, breaking plateaus, reducing fatigue, boosting motivation. It's quite the list of claimed benefits.
It really covers a lot of ground. And they mention how to buy it. Any special offers?
Yeah, the material we saw mentions a discounted price, like $49 a bottle, compared to a much higher regular price.
Okay. Typical marketing there, maybe.
Potentially.
Yeah.
They also mention limited stock and expiring discounts to create some urgency. Standard stuff.
And the purchase process?
They say it's secure, processed through ClickBank, and they reiterate that 180-day guarantee again, trying to build confidence.
Makes sense. Did they touch on any other common questions, like FAQs?
Briefly, yeah. Things like, do you have to change your lifestyle? They say it helps, but isn't strictly required according to them. Is it safe for daily use? They imply yes, given the natural ingredients and manufacturing standards. How long until you see results? Varies, but consistency is key. Can you use it with other diets? Generally, yes, but always best to check. And what if it doesn't work? That's where the guarantee comes in again.
Okay, wow. We've covered a ton of ground here, from what Leptozan claims to be the whole Dead Sea mineral and BHB angle, how it supposedly works.
Right, operative benefits, those customer stories, the manufacturing details, that guarantee.
Right. We've really unpacked the information presented about this supplement.
We have. We've laid out the claims, the ingredients as described, the potential upsides and downsides according to the source material, and who they seem to be targeting.
So for you listening right now, the question becomes, how does all this information stack up against your own health goals and what you're looking for?
And it's always worth repeating, this deep dive is based on the information provided about Leptozan. It's not medical advice.
Absolutely. Talking to your doctor or a healthcare professional before starting any new supplement is always, always the smartest move.
Definitely. So, thinking about everything we've discussed, what are your initial thoughts? Does the idea of a natural supplement aiming to support metabolism and energy based on these claims fit into how you think about your own well-being?
Yeah, it definitely gives you something to consider, doesn't it? Lots to mull over there.